Ventrax the dragon lay motionless at Ivan's feet. The dragon's scales were sticky with blood, and its tongue lolled out of its mouth like a panting dog's. But its gold-tinted eyes were still fixed on Ivan with a burning, living hatred. Ivan swung his sword down on the base of the dragon's neck, severing it halfway through. The dragon jerked, and a puff of red flame escaped between its teeth. Ivan swung again, and this time his sword found purchase in the rocky earth below. The dragon's neck wiggled back and forth, spurted a few weak streams of steaming blood, then moved no more. Ivan stood still as the dragon at his feet, with his hand still gripped around his sword. For the last 3 days and 2 nights, all he had known had been fire and pain and tears, and now there was only silence. Ever since he was a boy, Ivan had imagined what it would be like to kill a dragon, what it would feel like to hold its head in his hands, to drag its body through every town and to hear the cheers and chants of the crowd. Ivan let go of his sword. With one hand, he gripped the dragon by the lower jaw, and with the other, he grabbed the base of its severed neck. Its scales were still scorching hot, but his hands were too numb to notice. He heaved and lifted the dragon over his head and screamed into the emptiness of the cave. If Ivan had ever experienced a moment of pure joy in his life, this was it. The monster was dead, in his hands. There could only be glory from here till death. Blood streamed from the dragon's wounds and coated Ivan from head to toe. Ivan, blind with ecstasy, did not pay any mind to the heat of the dragon's blood, or to the dull ache that crept across his skin as the blood curled its way down his body. It was only when the dull ache morphed into a sharp, searing pain that Ivan took notice. He tossed the dragon's head to the side and looked at his hands. Steam rose from the blisters and boils that blossomed across his palms, then his arms, then his chest and stomach. Wherever the dragon's blood touched, it burnt away flesh, fat, and sinew. Ivan touched his face, only to feel the raw muscles of his jaw contract as he tried to scream, but the blood had already curled its way into his mouth, burnt his tongue to a leathery nub, and trickled down his throat, scorching everything in its path. His scream died before it could even reach his withered lips. Ivan crumpled to the ground beside the dragon's head, his body disintegrating into a melted mass of bones and boiling blood. In his last moments of sight and life, Ivan saw himself reflected in the fiery eyes of the dragon Ventrax. In those eyes, everything burned.